Friday Night Live. I'm getting my chat going here. Hope everybody's had a great week. I am going live 15 minutes early. I saw that OFR ended at 8 o'clock, so I just try to keep the ball going, and if I go a little bit earlier, end a little bit earlier, I can get some stuff done a little bit sooner than normal. I just mess with my beard here. Cut my hair this week. It's been really hot this week. It was in the 80s this week, and today was very, very humid. Hopefully, it looks like video and audio, everything's working. Matt F. was the first one here. Good to see you. The Jarhead Entrepreneur. Good to see you. I'm going to not do anything big tonight as far as topics, and I'm going to wait to really talk about much until really probably the 8:30 mark when people think I normally go live. But we're just going a little bit early today. Metalheads, what's going on? Good to see you. So I got some not interesting news, just some news in general. I sold some Vienna guppies to a local person that follows the channel, and it turns out that they breed some fish, like most people on here breed fish. And this person has, I think they said 11 tanks, and my memory's terrible, as you guys know, but a couple of the items that stuck out in my head that they were breeding, the number one is Celestial Perodanios CPDs, aka the Galaxy Rasbora. That's a fish I told them immediately I'm interested in buying those from them. It's a beautiful fish. It's a nano fish. But to be able to get them locally bred really excites me. So I told him if he's watching to email me the fish that he's breeding and when they'll be available, because he said some are very small, some of the different species of fish he's breeding, some are really small and he's got to grow them out. But CPDs were definitely one of them, and that's something I'm really interested in getting a hold of locally. So it's something I can get through my wholesalers, but to have something that's locally bred is awesome. So another locally bred fish may be coming soon, and I think he said he was doing some highline red cherry shrimp. Oh, what were the other ones? I forget the other ones. I'm that bad. A few different rainbows, and I already have a local supply of rainbows, but this will be if he's got some other ones that my other guy doesn't have, and it sounds like they might all be from the same source. They're all traced back to Gary Lang's stock. So all the rainbows I have are either Gary Lang or Eric Bodrock, and is it Jimmy Allen? So yeah, I like to keep along those lines because people know who those original importers are or breeders. So what's new with you guys, fish-wise? I did get a pond, another pond. We'll go out and check it out in a minute. My neighbors are outside, so we'll take you out, and they'll just hear me talking to my phone because I don't know. They know I do fish stuff, but I don't know if they know I have like a YouTube channel, so they probably don't know I'm live talking to you guys. Matt F said, to get your comment noticed easier by Steven, type at SC Aquatics with your comment. It will highlight it for him, and that is 100% true, and that works with anybody. So if you're trying to get somebody's attention, do the at symbol and their username. And if you're on a desktop computer, that's why I keep my computer up for these. It's super easy because it starts to autofill their username. Now, if you're on mobile, you have to type out their whole name, so it becomes a little bit more difficult. Melhead said, hey, me too with the pond thing. Yeah, so actually my rainbow breeder, it's kind of a twisted story. So my local rainbow breeder, my buddy Mike, was going to pick up 4 ponds from one of the master breeders here, who is actually where I got these brilliant bristlenose plecos from. So kind of, small world. It is a small world when it comes to fish community around here. So with that he said he bought 4 of them, but he only wanted 2. So he had 2 up for grabs. So I bought 1 because I wasn't sure like how big was the pond, because like it's 140 gallons. Like, all right, 140 gallons, but what's the actual footprint of it? What's the size? So I got one, and I want to see how well it does. I just put water in it yesterday. I filled it up halfway a few days ago, and I filled it up the rest of the way yesterday. So I'm going to let that water season and hopefully get some mosquitoes to put some larvae in there, and then I'll move some fish out there. The plans for this pond is strictly Vienna guppies. I've been releasing them in batches, and they've been selling like real quickly, and breeding those fish and actually making a profit. They seem expensive, and guys, I price it kind of against high-end guppy online retailers, like Twin City Guppies. So I'm priced along those lines, and it just kind of rejuvenated my whole wanting to breed more and more fish and less wholesaling fish. But yeah. Matt says he should have had a special guest tonight. Melhead is also setting up a pond. Yep, it's pond season. Is it Emra said, hello, can you show your L184s? So they're behind me, and I guess I could show you. Not sure how well the quality is going to go, but we'll flip you around. There's going to be algae on the tank. So this tank's a little jungly because the Amazons are spitting off babies. So, I got this whole plant right here. This is a good-sized plant. This is a runner. So this is, a baby that's coming off this plant. So this plant is 100% immerse grown. So this is what you would get if you buy a plant from me, Amazon Sword, and it's already shooting off 2 more. This one I'm going to leave. This one's shooting roots, so I can transplant that. I am getting some blackbeard algae in here, so I'm going to have to take care of that. And the best way I found to take care of blackbeard algae is just to physically remove it from the tank. You can also use hydrogen peroxide, but for me, it'll just be removing it manually. And it's mainly sticking to the immerse grown leaves, and there's some on the back, but it's all part of the ecosystem, so it's not really a concern other than it's just unsightly for me to look at. But anyways, here's the L184s. Here's a couple of them. Well, there's actually 4 right here. So you 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 5, 6, 7. They're all kind of scattered throughout. And there's the baby. There's the one that Matt wants. He's actually an inch plus now, probably in length. You can see Vienna. I know there's green spot algae, guys, so bear with me. But the Vienna guppies are in here, and the Vienna fry actually stick around this bottom area. They're all around these plecos right now. There goes the baby 184 kind of. He's always tucked in between these 2 pleco caves. And guys, these pleco caves are going to be for sale. I got them in. So these are the very most common pleco caves sold online. Other big retailers sell them. But I got a dozen or so of them in. But I actually hear my dogs barking, so I'm going to go let them in. And when I let them in, we'll go look at the new pond. It's just a bucket of water at this point. So really nothing to look at, but I also moved it against the house, so it's not going to be full sunlight. Come on, girls. Well, Havana's in. Charlotte sticks her head. Let me flip you. Charlotte sticks her head through that gap to look at the neighbors, but they like Charlotte. So anyways, we'll look at the first pond. I got the duckweed going strong to help remove nitrates, but the thing is, I keep the water green because the fry do really well with green water. And this looks like a nasty pond, but anybody that's been in my house will tell you this pond produces some extremely large guppies in a short amount of time. It's been really hot, so they're not out, but they usually come out in the morning, or if it's definitely cooler out. I just saw some fry, so they're already producing fry in this pond. They've been out here for probably about a month, so I'm interested to see how big the adults are. This is mixed guppies. These are 614 guppies. These are not Vienna guppies. We'll walk over to the new pond, which isn't, like I said, anything to look at yet. So here's what's going to be the Vienna Guppies. It's basically a stock tank. Big City Beta is good to see you. So really nothing crazy to look at. It's just up against the house, and the reason why it's against the house is there's an overhang. So this will give this thing shade from midday to the evening to help keep it a little bit cooler. That one gets sun most of the day because it's out in the yard or out in the patio, but nothing in here yet. I think I'm actually going to put, I'll show you because I'm out here kind of baking. I got some old rock from a saltwater tank, and these were actually in my first saltwater tank, and then I used them in a freshwater tank. So these, these are definitely clean. They're just out here. If it rains, it kind of cleans them more, but I'm probably going to put some Java fern on these guys and put these in that pond. Not really sure what else I'll put in there. Maybe some Christmas moss, see how it does outside. I haven't tried Christmas moss outdoors yet, so we'll see how it do. Nothing really going on in the fish room this week. Lots of orders though, which I truly appreciate. Between fish and hard goods, it was a good week. Definitely the past 4 weeks has been pretty good. I almost was going to make a post like, was there a new stimulus check that I didn't know about? Let me get you guys back. Texas Fish Room, what's going on, man? Good to see you. All right. Oh, I'm in Top Chat, by the way, so let me fix that. There we go. All right. If you're regular here, be sure to hit the thumbs up. If you're new and like what's happening, consider it as well. Says Matt F. Emra says, thanks. Any success breeding? Just the one baby on the L184 so far. And I got Super Red Plecos, Super Red Pleco babies in there as well. So kind of both Plecos. Not a ton of Super Reds yet, and both dogs are coming in here. So get ready. Here comes Charlotte, and Havana's right behind me. I hear her tail hitting. Oh, she's over here now. What are you doing? They want to be YouTube stars. That's what's really going on here. They're trying to take over my channel, and they want me to be a dog channel. But no, they're just trying to get attention. They came in from inside or outside, but Charlotte is awesome. Yeah, everybody loves Charlotte. Everybody that meets her loves her. She's super soft, which helps that lovability out too. But Havana's my baby. She is. All right, let me scroll and see what else is happening. Oh, try to jump. Sorry. Matt said, I'm going to go place an order now. Well, Matt, you're probably due for your weekly order, bud. Oh, man. Okay, so let's talk about fish. What I would love to do is get, with the whole CPDs, there's a lot of people, which is awesome, that have been finding me through local searching. And a lot of people are like, I found your YouTube channel. I see that you buy from hobbyists. Are you interested in buying this? And people are breeding all sorts of things. I typically don't deal with cichlids. There's people that only deal with cichlids, but the only cichlid that I will consider in the future are going to be shell dwellers. I don't know what it is about those guys, but I want to get into shell dwellers. So in the future, I do see possibly getting some shell dwellers. I'm not sure what kind, multis, some punks. I don't know which variety of them I'll get, but I definitely want to get some shell dwellers. And luckily they stay small, so I'll be able to ship them fairly easily. So that would probably be the only cichlid I would go after. There's people breeding big cichlids and medium cichlids, green terrors, and I'm not into those. But I know that with the local breeders, between the bushy nose, the super reds, white clouds, which that's a fish I want to get in and on the store. trying to think what else was there. Goodyids. I want to get some Goodyids in, and let me try to find the scientific name. Australian. It's the Australian desert goby. So if you Google that, I haven't seen them much online. So Aquatic Arts they're sold out. They have it listed as the Gold Desert Goby. But that's locally bred, so that's another fish I want to, bring in. I need to get some pictures of it. I have pictures of the fry from the breeder, but I need to get some good pictures of the adults, because the adults are, what really sell the fish, because the fry aren't going to be colored up. And to be honest, I forget all the fish that are being locally bred right now, but it seems like everybody is booming with fish, so they've been reaching out to me. So hopefully I get more and more locally bred stuff in. Matt says I support the change to the dog channel. Yeah, so the Super Reds actually have 2 local people that breed them, and they're up over their heads with fry right now. One of the things is, I think the last time I bought Super Reds, I think I bought 50 of them. So, at the amount I gave the guy, he might be like, man, that's a ton of money. I'm gonna keep going. But the problem is the 50 lasted me 6 months. So as he's producing the crap out of them, he's just got a ton of these fish, and he just doesn't have a way to sell them right now. Because the local wholesaler, he said he talked to a local wholesaler, and I offered him more money than the wholesaler did. But you gotta be careful if you're breeding fish for a profit, not to get too happy when you unload them. Because if you unload them, like, man, I just sold 100 of these fry, and then you go produce 300, and if the fish store or whoever is buying them from you gets saturated with them, then you're stuck with a ton of fish. Matt, so that's what I'm trying to figure out, how to sell my fish and shirts. Yeah. And that's what this guy that locally picked up these Viennas, he was like, I just been breeding them. He's like, that's not what he's trying to do for a living. He's just doing it for fun. And, he was interested in, being able to sell me some of his fish. Oh, some guppies were the other ones. They were the, oh my gosh, Hawaiian Blues. I haven't seen a picture of them, so I'm not, there's so many names for guppies out there. I got this crossbreed that I'm just calling the 614 guppies. I'm not sure, how to name them, but, so many people can throw a different name out. So when somebody says I got this guppy, unless it's the common stuff, a koi guppy, a black Moscow guppy, stuff like that. Some of these, other names, I just don't know what they are. And then I see a picture of them, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what that is. Charlotte's barking. I was about to yell at her, but she can't hear me, so that's not gonna help out. Texas Fisherman said, I've been wanting some Shelleys. Yeah, I've been wanting Shelleys for a very long time. I would say probably maybe 2 years now. And actually, that's the other person I want to talk to is Rick Woods. He is also in Ohio, and he does pretty much, I think, he's strictly all cichlids. And his company is called Sand City Cichlids, and I think it's just sandcitycichlids.com. I know he's making his own food now, but he imports and he breeds. So I know he breeds a bunch of fish, and he also imports to also breed. So he's got a lot of cool. No. She wants to go outside, or she's saying, hey, there's somebody walking a dog. There's been a lot of people walking their dogs since it's getting later out, and it's nice. So she's just been in the front window barking all night long, every night. But check out Sand City Cichlids. And he's got a lot of cool fish. They're priced right. They're not super cheap, but he's got a lot of cool stuff. And I was trying to see those super. He's got Pistogramma super red pairs. They're fire. They're, I think, $50 or $60. Let me see if I can find them. $55 for a sexed pair. So, but they look awesome. He's got a lot of. I need to place an order with him. I really do. He's also got longfin green dragon plecos. Oh man. Yeah. So, anyways, let me get off here before I place an order on his website. Oddball Aquatics, good to see you. Says, come get me on board. Well, get a board game out. Get some Clue going, some Monopoly. I go for Monopoly. Monopoly's. I don't know if I still have it, but me and my friends a few years ago were real big into playing Monopoly and drinking, and we ended up getting the Monopoly credit card version. So instead of having like the paper cash, you actually had credit cards. So you would just swipe your card, and it would keep track of your money. But it was pretty fun. Josh Price says, tell him to bring 2K pounds of fish food. Josh, Sunday you'll probably only be an hour from Haley, so that'd be probably a good time to grab that fish food. I know you got a ton on your plate for Sunday with all the tanks and fish and stuff, but just saying. Sue Ann, good to see you. I think I didn't miss anybody, but anyways, he said that's my plan. Well, there we go. In the A team, I love it when a plan comes together. Credit card monopoly, yes, it's a thing. So you get this little, it's like basically a calculator. It's like plus or minus and then just some numbers. So you can add money or take away money. And you get, I don't know if it's like six credit cards, 4 to 6 cards. And you insert the card and it keeps track of how much money is on it. And it's really simple how it works. It's not actually like a MagStripe. The credit cards have little bumps on them, almost like Braille. And when you insert it, it tells the little calculator, like, this is card 1, this is card 2. And all the info is really stored on the calculator, but it makes you think it's stored on your credit card. But it's a lot of fun, so especially with kids. So if you got kids that might tear up the paper and, trash that, you don't have to worry about that. Now, you could argue that the kids, having kids play Monopoly, they're learning money and stuff. Well, credit cards are still pretty fun, too. At least for adults, we had a great time using the credit cards. But I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. I'm trying to think where my board games are. They're probably in my storage room. I don't know. I might have to go grab it and see if I have it. But it's pretty cool. Let me see. We need to get Haley a car. A more reliable car. Yes. She needs a new car. Texas Fishroom says, I'm scared to see how many guppies I will have this summer in summer tubs by the end of summer. I'm already seeing thousands of fry. Yeah, that's like summer tubs and live bearers are no joke. They go nuts with all the natural bugs there are to eat. Mainly mosquito. Mainly here is mosquito larvae, and but with the green water, you got all the microalgae and microfauna stuff like that going on in there. I throw duckweed in there. Plants are dying because dying plants create microorganisms, and that's just all food for the fry. And those guppies out in that 500-gallon pond grow like sharks. They get massive out there. It's funny to think of a guppy being massive, but my buddy Mike was in here. He would tell you. Um, that was Havana making noise. I was like, "What's she doing?" Um, Haley said, "I wouldn't hurt people. My car won't make it. I'm going to have to take all my tanks on a Greyhound." Matt said, "My credit card monopoly sounds like my online life. Just swiping credit cards all day. I don't ever carry cash. The cash I typically keep, I just throw in. I have a safe here. So whenever I get cash from like somebody, like give me cash for whatever, I just hold on to it. And so credit cards are the way I live, basically." And I saw Haley talk about fish tanks. Haley doesn't need any more fish tanks. She's got, is it a 125 or a 150 that she hasn't even set up yet? That's, she put this excuse that it was at LRB storage for a year, and it's been at her house for a year now, and she can't set it up because she doesn't know how to remove an overflow. That's what's going on with Haley. Sunday, be prepared. Have you met me? It'll fit. Yeah. So Haley said we can't fit all the tanks and the fish food. Josh will get some straps and put tanks on top of a car, and then somehow put more tanks on top of those tanks. Somehow it will happen. Josh has 7 tanks not set up yet, ranging from 450 to 1,200 gallons. Shoo! I have a 240 that isn't set up. I actually listed it for sale. Well, why aren't you setting up the 240, Matt? 240, is that 8 foot long? Steven hasn't built me stands yet. You haven't said anything about stands. Josh Bryce, you don't count. You got 100,000 gallons in aquariums. Sure. Trying to convince Haley to move to Strongsville. Josh, just give her a job. She'll probably move there. Oh, wait. That's what you guys are talking about, moving tanks. I see. This is what happens when I jump too far forward. Yep, just have her clean your tanks and feed your fish every day and give her like $2 an hour and she'll be happy. It's an acrylic 240, 8 foot long. I may order something a little different. It's for a Maboo. So 240, that's 8 foot long, so is it like is it 24 inches by 24? So is it 8 by 2 by 2? Because I'm trying to think, because the sump I have that I bought from Josh is 6 by 3 by 2, and I think it's 250. This Suanne said squirrel. Yep, that is it. Matt said, yep, 8 by 2 by 2. I do scape a mean tank. Alright. Let me see where I'm at. 200,000 gallons. It's a lot of aquariums. A lot of big aquariums. Alright, so, I guess I need to do like the plug. 614 tabs, get them while they're on the intro price. And root tabs, they are, I don't want to tell you, so I don't even think I should say that. I'm pretty sure there's another big company that does root tabs, and I think we use the same manufacturer. these are actually super legit. I encourage you to try them. They're $14.99. They're 60 tabs. It does come in a blank bottle. There's no label because I needed the bottles to design the label. And now I need to sell some of these so I can afford to buy the labels. So buy some. And while you're at it, buy some fertilizer. 614 liquid fertilizer goes well with the root tabs. I'll probably do, once these go off of the promotional price, and then these will be $19.99 for 60 tabs once the original order sells out. But I'll probably do a discount if you buy like liquid and root tabs, save an additional 5% or something like that. But that won't be until there's a price hike. So if you're trying to save a couple bucks, I would just buy them now. You'll save more money now than later. Oddball says, still waiting for those root tabs and Massivore Delight. Still waiting. Did you place an order for Massivore? Because it's up there. There's Massivore right there. It's so hard, like, trying to figure out where to point. There's Massivore. Oh. Phone's tipping. It's up there. It's waiting for you to place that order. No, I placed a, hey buddy, I need that. Well, I need that money. You buy the Massivore and I'll send you some root tabs. Or you could have Josh Price buy you all the fish food. He'll pay for all this stuff and then I'll just send it to you. And that way you can, vary the diet to all your fish. Well, I'll send him the cichlid food. Because I feel like it's an on-running joke with Josh and I now about cichlids. From how I got these convict cichlids that are taking over my fish room. I keep finding babies everywhere. He was talking about doing this fish rescue on Sunday, and he was talking about all these cichlids. I'm like, oh, cichlids. He's like, don't worry, I'll take the cichlids. But yeah, unless they're shell dwellers, I'm not interested in cichlids. I mean, there are some cichlids I like, but majority of them, they're just not for me. I think they're beautiful fish. I like nano fish. Matt F. said, become a member to help support the channel. Drop the link, and you get exclusive 50% off website orders when you become a member. And that is 100% true. Members get extra discount on the website. All day, every day. And the code, I mentioned this before, the code changes every month. So if you become a member this month, it's not like you'll have that code for the rest of your life. It changes monthly. And the way you get the code is I post it to the member section on YouTube. Matt said, what's that? Josh Price is buying stuff for everyone from SC Aquatics? I think that's what I heard. I'm pretty sure Josh. So Josh got me into the stock market a little over a year ago. And it was right when the market was crashing. And he got me into some stocks, which was awesome. Kind of taught me a little bit to get me into it. And I know Josh, I don't know for a fact, but I know Josh has got to be doing pretty good in the stock market just from what I know a year ago. I would say he's doing well enough to buy everybody here a bunch of stuff from 614fish.com. And he might have taken off where he's politely not responding to our heckling. Haley says, I gotta go do adult stuff. Have fun. And Matt says, shh, he hasn't told Brittany about that money. Probably, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to tell people if you got extra money. Anytime I get extra money, you guys end up seeing it. I end up buying a new computer, or building it. I built that. It's not even done yet. I'm still waiting on the graphics card. Still got probably a month and a half to go. I'm hoping by end of July. It'd be nice if it was beginning of July, but realistically it'd probably be end of July. If not longer, then I'll be sad. Sad panda. Texas Fish Room said, I wish I had extra money. Buddy, I saw your extra money. You built a ginormous fish room. You have the extra money. Well, you did. You did until you built a fish room. Huh. You know what's weird? Why can't I... They changed that. Let me... Sorry guys, just squirreling here. Guppies on the Move. That's the latest Texas Fish Room video. So check it out, guys. And it was posted 2 weeks ago. Okay. Where am I at? Matt said you are welcome for that computer, by the way. That order every 3 days had to help. It bought me one of these RAM sticks, I'm pretty sure. we can change, we'll change that to Matt, what's your favorite color? How about that? Tell me what your favorite color is, Matt. And it can probably be any color under the sun. Maybe. I'm working on it, Oh no, that's way too distracting. And I know I'm scrolling right now, but I'm trying to keep it fish related. My chat is not... This chat is going... Matt said my favorite color is black. Well, that's not very much fun. Well, it's not much fun for the computer, and I got... Why? I broke it. How do I get this to go away? You guys, I'm breaking stuff. It's all Matt's fault. There we go. That's black. See, it's not fun. It's just nothing. My wife said green. Okay, we'll go green. What looks the most green on the screen? Something like that. Maybe. Okay, green for Matt. Matt, there you go. Matt's wife. Where'd it go? Why is it not on? There. Okay. Sue-Ann said, same. She likes the color of money. That's good. Alright. Well, I don't really have anything other fishy related news. It's kind of blown, it's kind of washed out, so it looks super bright on YouTube. It's not like that super bright in person. Like, it's bright, but it's blown out on camera. For sure. Show the picture I sent you. Well, I can't show... I'm on mobile, I'm not on my software, so I can't show anything. And I actually don't even have Messenger or anything pulled up right now. Alright. Well, guys, I don't really have anything else to talk about. Unless you guys have something... You have any questions? Any questions I can answer? But Vienna guppies, they're all breeding right now. They're going through a breeding phase, so I've been slowly releasing pairs and trios as they kind of come available. I'm trying to make sure I don't pull too many. I'm pretty sure that these Vienna guppies are some sort of Endler cross, because even these females I'm sending people are spitting out babies. And I know Matt is already, I think it was Matt. Matt was already breeding Vienna guppies. I sent him. Um, they're not like normal guppies where the females are really large and they're spitting out babies. These things are pretty small and popping out babies. So, um, you know, to me, my normal reaction is like, oh, that's a juvenile. Like, let's send that out. It's going to give you the most lifetime, span of its life to keep it. Um, but realistically, they could be breeding very quickly on you. But what I'm getting at, squirrel, is I'm trying to make sure I don't pull too many and I crash and not have enough babies to keep everything going. So really in this tank, and what's nice about having the Viennas in this tank now is culling. So there's a couple males I want to get out of this tank, and there's two females. So the normal female is like the regular tan, yellowish color, brown, I guess. And then there's one that's kind of a light gray. So I don't know what the babies are going to look like between the two females, so I'm kind of letting them stay in there. The gray just might be a different morph or a different genetic kind of showing through, and the babies might all be the exact same. But I want to see what happens with that. But with the males are easy. Like which ones you need to get out of there. There's some where the pattern gets a little bit, what's the word? Kind of washed out by more black. So instead of having like the nice black pattern, the black's more spotty. So those are really easy to cull, and by cull, they go out to the 500-gallon pond. When I had the axolotls, I would cull guppies to them. Just kind of the life cycle continues type deal. But now I don't have the axolotls. The guppy culls go to the outdoor pond, and the whole mutt genetic gene pool just gets bigger and bigger. So soon these 614 guppies will have some Vienna strain into them, and who knows what that will look like. That's the best thing about it, is that you never know what's going to happen, and that's how like the 614 guppies came to be. It was just some culls from green cobras and blue tuxedos, and they start popping out these crazy patterns and colors. It was awesome. So yeah, let me get back in the chat. At SC Aquatics, oh my gosh, there's a bunch. What is the square root of 12? It's 4, right? What is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is just to work every day of your life so you can have fun with your hobbies. Okay, that's not the meaning of life, but it's what it feels like sometimes. Sometimes it just seems like you work all the time. Where do babies come from? The internet. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? 5 metric tons. What is the status of the wall tank? The wall tank, the 200-gallon cube, not really much of a status update on that right now. It's to be honest, I was getting cold feet on if I really wanted to cut a ginormous hole in the wall. I still kind of do, but really the biggest thing is finishing the garage with basically just finishing the garage. I guess if I just run the one tank, I don't technically have to finish the garage, but that tank I think will get really, really hot. So I have to see. It's one. I guess I could fill up the tank out in the garage and monitor the water temp, because that garage gets super hot during the day because it's not insulated very well. So it just absorbs. There's a big window. It absorbs a lot of the sun. If it was insulated and I could keep it cooler, it wouldn't be an issue. I do want to run discus, so having that would be perfect. It'd be a hotter tank, but I don't want it to be like the water temps in the high 90s type hot. And I'm not trying to run a chiller, and there's ways you can cool a tank. Outside of using a chiller, you can use evaporative cooling. You can put a fan on top of it. I'm not trying to do all that. I like just having a tank go and not worry about temperature swings. Discus, I'm sure they'd be fine. 80 degrees to 88 degrees with a target of like 84, but I don't want them to get up to like 98 degrees in that garage. When there's days that it's 100 degrees outside here in Ohio, which it happens. It's not common, but 90s are that's common. But it's not uncommon to hit triple digits, and being in a garage that gets hotter than outside ambient air, something I'm not trying to find out. I guess I'm getting confused by all these highlights are popping up. At SC, can you really save 15% on your car insurance by switching? Only if you switch to Geico. Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. I actually do have Geico though, so that's kind of funny. In 15 minutes or less, I heard. Only if you heard it from a gecko though. We've had that this week, icky. If you're talking about the temperature, it was 80s all this week, and today the humidity was miserable. It was so thick. Just if you weren't in front of a fan, well, at least me. If I wasn't in front of a fan, I just started sweating. It was just the humidity was horrible in the shop today. I mean, the humidity has been up there all week because it's been raining all week. But today it's just like the humidity caught up with us, and it was just full out humid. So with my fish room, actually, this week I've been leaving the door between my house and the fish room open to keep it a little bit cooler in there. So I normally keep the door shut and I keep the dehumidifier on because it keeps the humidity at like 40%. But the way the dehumidifier works, it heats the room, and that's how like it pulls the moisture out of the air. So that room will typically be 84, 85 degrees, but at 40% humidity, it feels awesome when you come in from outside. It could be 10 degrees hotter in the fish room, but feel better because the humidity is so low. Well, this week, I was trying to keep the temperature down in the room, so I left the door open so that way the AC in the house would get into that fish room, keep it cool, and maybe the AC would help keep the humidity down. The humidity was creeping up a little bit in the fish room, even though the door's open. There's just not enough air circulation. I could remedy that by putting a fan in there to exchange air between the rooms, but it was like 55%, which isn't horrible, but I like to keep it in the 40s. So I got home and I turned on the dehumidifier. Haley, prove it. Oh, she's probably not watching. I work at dry cleaners. It was miserable. Yeah, I bet it's hot in there too. Yeah. We had a break today. It rained and only got to the 80s. Well, it rained today, and I think my truck coming home was 82. So I'm not sure like if that was peak temp today, if it was like 84, but it just was so humid. We had high 90s this week. We haven't been. I don't think we've been in the 90s this week. I think the other week we might have hit it. Because I remember them saying it was like the hottest it's been in like 8 months or something like that. But yeah. Melhead says, I have water bottles frozen. It lasts about 2.45 minutes before they thaw out, and I have to freeze them again. Yeah, so like I'm not trying to do that because the water bottle, like, it works, but it works too well. Like they melt too quickly. I feel like if I had to try to cool the tank down, I would just go with the fan route. Open the top, no lid. If it was a fish I was jumping, I'd put a net over the top and put a fan over the top. If the room was cooler than the tank, which is completely possible because If you got a big tank, you're running canister filters. Those canister filters are going to produce heat. So anything that uses electricity is going to produce heat. Especially the more watts it uses, the more heat it's going to generate. So let's say like this thing's got a canister filter on it. So let's say this tank is 80 degrees and my room is 75 degrees and there's no heater in this. This is just the temp it's running because of the lighting or whatever. You could technically get it to ambient temp by running a radiator. Same thing with a car. You could run a pump, which is kind of counterproductive because the pump's technically going to add heat. But you could run water through a pass-through radiator with a fan and use ambient air to cool that water down. That's probably something I would do since I'm a car guy. I would try to do a radiator setup. That's what my computer does. Actually, that's a great way I could show. This thing right here, those are water lines. So if you're not big on computers, the square thing you see that's white box with red in the middle, that's the processor for the computer. Think of that as your car engine. And if you're a computer person, you're probably like, shut up. Like, I already know what this is. If you're not, I'm explaining this as if you're not a car person or a computer person. That's the engine of a car. These water lines are like radiator hoses. Up here at the top, these are actually two fans. Above it, which you probably can't see, there's a radiator. These are blowing air through a radiator and it exhausts the hot air out the top. I would do something like that for a fish tank. And at least if you're exchanging ambient air, you're going to cool it down. You're not going to get below ambient. So if your room's 90 degrees and your water's 88 degrees, you're not going to cool that water down at all. It's not going to work like that. The only way you could possibly do it is do what's called like a swamp cooler, where you run water over the fins, and then that's basically evaporating, cooling the radiator. But at that point, you might as well just put a fan on top and hope for the best. Anyways, I feel like we're getting like redneck technical, and let's not go that route. But yeah. We have window units upstairs where we all hang out, but downstairs gets around 86 during the day. Uh, just so everybody's aware, I will never go to the metalhead's house ever. So, I like being cold. I don't know if I'll say I like being cold. I don't like being hot. I work outside. Is it outside? It's indoors, but there's no AC. And we're in a warehouse. There's a garage door. There's no windows. There's a man door to get out, but there's one garage door. So airflow sucks. It's hot. It's muggy. There's hot cars. You know, think of cars that are 200 degrees and you're working on them. It's not fun environment. It's, you know, when you do it for so long, you adapt. But it's not fun. When I get home, I like to be super comfortable. I like to wear a t-shirt and shorts at home. Anyways, my house is the AC set to 72, which I usually have it set to 70, but I'm trying to, cut down electricity this year. So it's set to 72, which you're like, oh, that's not much. Or like maybe that's freezing to somebody. I don't know. My bedroom has basically a wall unit though. It's a portable AC unit. It's on casters and it's got this vent that you put in your window. I crank that puppy to 60 degrees at night when I sleep, and that's for two reasons. One, I like being cold. I'd rather be freezing and then just add blankets and then I sleep like a rock. Then if I'm hot and I don't know, whatever it is, I have to have a blanket on me to sleep. I don't do sheets either. I hate sheets. But anyways, so that's reason one. I like being cold. Reason two is it's a two-part reason for two, and it's two words: Charlotte and Havana. Those two things are furnaces, especially Havana. She's a super furnace. Those two dogs they're Velcro dogs. They like to be laying against my legs or my arm. Havana's usually like against my shoulder, and Charlotte's against my leg, and Charlotte likes to sleep under the blanket, so that's even worse. Like it's heat. It's like a heated blanket for real. It really is. The dogs put off so much heat, so I keep AC in the bedroom, and I just kick it on when I go to bed. I also like the noise. Uh, Typically, I'll flip on the TV too, and like I'll fall asleep watching a TV show. I just like, I don't know, the ambient noise. You know, maybe some people have those like rain noisemaker soundtracks and stuff, or like a fan. I like a fan or a TV going. I fall right asleep. But we're really squirreling now, aren't we? This is Sue Ann's fault. It's not really her fault. She just said squirrel earlier, and it's the first thing that popped in my head. Anyways, guys, I am out of content for tonight. I'm going to go drink my coffee, make sure my AC is cranking. Ambient noise is a must for me too. Yep, I got it. Papa Shrimp, what's up? Good to see you, but you're at the tail end of the live stream. Good to see you though, Jerry. All right, catching up on my comments. All right. So, anyways, guys, at Aquashella, is that going on right now? Didn't even realize it was going on this week. Oh, you know what? I saw a flip said something about it this week. Well, hope you guys, whoever's at Aquashella, is having a good time, and hopefully I'll see you guys at Aquashella. I don't know if it's going. Are they planning in Chicago? I don't know if they're planning in Chicago. That's the easiest one for me to go to. But anyways, guys, I will see you later. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And we'll see you when I see you next Friday. Been watching KG, Fish Room Fever, Chattanooga Ed. They all must be down there. I'm guessing that means. But anyways, guys, I will see you next Friday. Thanks for hanging out with me. And Chicago is happening. Well, I'll be at the Chicago one. And yeah. So, hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy it if you get the weather to enjoy it. But Rich T popping in saying thanks for the stream, brother. Well, thanks for popping in the chat at least. I'm sure you've been here, but thanks for the comment. I'll see you guys. And Havana and Charlotte says they'll see you too, wherever they are. Peace. Maybe. Dang it. Click. Squirrel. Is this like the bonus? Is this the bonus scene to a movie? Like the credits are rolling or whatever? Like credit, something.